how y'all doing? So you saw the title of the video, and understand I don't want to be pessimistic, so I bring this up so that we can have an honest conversation about things, okay? I'm not here to criticize anyone. Now, before we get into this conversation, I'm going to give a shout out to someone from Etsy that I had promised that I was going to give a shout out to, and that is Historique Portraits. He had a previous name, and I forgot the previous name of his artificial intelligence work. So you can send him a digital photo and he can put you into another time period. And if you look at some of his stuff, you can see where I got a lot of my portraits from. So if you get an Etsy account, which is free, you just only pay for the things that you wish to buy from the small businesses. Despite what people tell you, Etsy is not dead, okay? It's still here. It's not unalived, I mean. Hope they don't get me for that, because, you know, these days they want a copyright strike and come after people for stuff easily. All right, so feel free to check his channel out, or check his page out for that matter, if you ever go to Etsy. All right. So let's get into this. I can remember my aunt contacting me like some days ago saying, hey, don't shop on this day, which I did go to Amazon and buy some stuff. I'm sorry, Auntie, I just did. And then I can remember her saying, hey, don't go shop at Walmart at this certain time. I'm like, you know, I don't go to Walmart anyway. And there's no knock to people who shop there. If you all do and you didn't want to participate in this blackout, I have the utmost respect for you, because you have every right to, based on your needs, to not participate. Walmart, Target, Amazon, it was some other stores. Of course, I still shopped Amazon because I needed to get some stuff for my business that I'm starting offline. So then she sends me a shocking follow-up tour of I didn't mean to say tour. I'm stuttering on my words, y'all. She sends me a follow-up text with a blackout tour. And I was indifferent about it, because I was like, oh, they're going to make this a tour. So before I get into my negative comment, let me say this. This is a free country. You have a right to boycott any business you feel isn't working for you, whether it's for DEI, which I'm hearing that's the reason these people got targeted, whether it's for maltreatment, for any reason, because we've heard throughout the years that Walmart doesn't treat its employees well. I'll let you all decide that, because it's possible that some people went to Walmart and had wonderful experiences all of the time. So, shop where you want to shop, because this is a free country. It's a known fact that people like bargains and deals. So we're not going to get around that, right? Where this all becomes a problem for me, and the reason that I think this boycott, though I support your right to do it, is ineffective, is because one of the main reasons you're calling for it, you had control of it years ago. Well, go support your local small businesses. For the very reason you're saying to boycott some of these places, which I haven't stepped into a lot of them. Outside of Amazon, I haven't dealt with a lot of these for a number of years. Why would you all wait till something gets drastic on your end to then say, oh, now all of us have to collectively do this? And here's where, and the reason, because I'm finding out this boycott isn't just black Americans or black people in this country. I don't want to just say FBA, although I identify as that. You all have known this for years, that certain companies mistreat people. You've known for years of the mess going on. Why 2025? Why do you wait till there's mass layoffs, mass pricing issues, When clearly this stuff was starting to show itself years ago? Why would you wait till things get drastic to then get into action? It's no different than your George Floyd or any of your other injustices that happen to different people of different races. Why do you all wait to fight and fuss about something as soon as it gets bad and something, a worst case scenario happens, when clearly inside, right in your face, you could see that things were already about to go down? This is why we're not a monolith, right? Because that number one thing, well, just go shop your local small businesses. We'll stick it to them. Some of us, including myself, have been doing that already. If you go look at my videos, my recent videos, you'll know that some of us do that on a weekly basis. And yet you're all protesting and, no offense, acting like you're doing something big by telling people to do something that a lot of us were already doing. Look, I'm not trying to be dismissive. I understand that these big conglomerates are a problem. I understand that their misuse of power is an issue. This isn't me being defeatist and say don't fight it, don't do anything about it. Me personally, I'm just going to be real with you. I have no use for DEI. DEI, even to myself as a foundational Black American, I can say that DEI didn't even benefit most Black Americans. Or the ones that it did benefit, who knows how they were really using it. Oh my God. How can y'all sit here as people mad at DEI and complain about something instead of doing what your ancestors did and just built businesses based on the fact that you were excluded from certain spaces? I'm not saying not to have the audacity to want to be in a space. I am saying have the audacity to know where you're not wanted and learn to pick and choose your battles. I saw a video on someone else's channel, and I won't say where a Black woman, presumably an FBA ADOS person, was going into Target telling people, y'all know we ain't supposed to be in here today. We got to boycott them. You don't know these people's lives. There could be a myriad of reasons that on that particular day in that Target, those people needed to be there. And you used your skin color, whether you wanted to or not, to guilt trip people of your own ethnic background and group to leave because you felt some type of way. How do you know that that particular store don't carry a particular thing that they need? How do you know that they've tried to shop local and that can be expensive for some people, so they have to go to these big box stores? And them being Black, how would you know whether they did or didn't live in a food jungle and that's the closest thing to them that provides them a better way? And yet you want to use skin color to force them to go pay more money. Because I shop local, but let's be honest, local shopping can cost you more money sometimes. The boycott in and of itself is not a bad ideal. I just bark back at two things. I brought up the DEI because I just don't care for it, and I'll take my licks for that. Number one, the ideal that there's an assumption that some of us haven't been buying Black owned or any owned. I've been supporting all kind of small businesses for a good decade plus. So why is there this assumption that we all go in there in mass like we're a big collective that can't think for ourselves individually? Number two, and the final one, of course, and I just discussed it, the bandwagon jumping. The ideal that you can use someone's skin color and dictate what's right and what's wrong for them instead of understanding the constraints in their individual households. Again, this tour is not a bad ideal. It just, for me, having grown up in the ghetto, I understand that my people wait, especially because I know some people who are not black are going to watch this, or poor people in general, let me put it that way, will wait till things get out of hand to back. We're tired of these transportation issues, this, when if you have been paying attention to geopolitics, something you don't like, neither do I, but I have to pay attention for the sake of my household. If you were paying attention to geopolitics, you would know that this was already starting to get out of hand a long time ago. Then people, ever since COVID, when you go back, really, it was getting bad before COVID. But because you were comfortable and living your decent lives, you just let it go. Where are your solutions past this? That's the question I have. Because we're doing this one size fits all stuff once stuff gets out of hand, instead of finding micro ways to deal with it before it turns into a macro. Yeah, we gonna stick it to the man, though, despite the fact that the signs were already there a while ago. Has it ever occurred to some of y'all that some of us who choose not to protest do so because showing our face could cost us something? Has it occurred to you that some of us don't protest because we've already found ways to navigate not having things like eggs? I'm eating some right now, but eggs aren't something I need to eat every day. And everybody's going to do this. Well, that's good for you. But the problem is everybody has to do what's good for them. And that doesn't make them any less black because they need to go to Target and get something on a bargain or for bulk that day. They just did what they needed to do for their family or for themselves. Not because they're selfish, but because they need to be able to save money. It's interesting. I'll be monitoring this blackout. All I'm asking you all who are participating, before I end this video, please have enough compassion to recognize and see other people's constraints. And that them walking into that store may not necessarily make them a sellout, but may have a reason, a deep reason that they don't have to or are not obligated to explain to you.